Hey guys, it's Stuart. If you're tuning back into the channel, then I really appreciate it. Glad you're back. If you're new to the channel, this is where I talk about my highs, my lows, and everything in between in trying to design a holistic life, business, and good products. In this video, I wanted to talk about a common question that I get, which is around book recommendations for when you're starting out in design, UX design specifically, or if you're making a transition into UX design. So I went to my bookshelf and picked out the top books that were the most helpful for me when I was making my transition. I took a little bit of time to think about why I wanted to recommend this specific set of books. And it's because these books together really do two things. First, these books help me think about design, really helpful for design strategy, mental posture. And these books help me do design, real practical, tactical things. And I thought these two together really gave me a good rounded view of design. Okay, so I have my stack of books right here. I guess we'll go through it one by one. This book. I don't know if you're gonna catch that because the autofocus on my camera is not good. I don't even know if it's working. But anyway, 100 Things Every Designer Needs to Know About People. And it's written by Susan Weinschenk. She's a PhD. She's a behavioral psychologist by training, but turned technologist and UX designer. And I'm so glad that she wrote this book because I absolutely love it. And I still use it today. So in this book, it's taking all the really interesting and applicable psychology studies and breaking it up into digestible formats and presents it in a really fun way in this book that's about 200 pages. In fact, I used this in one of the case studies back at General Assembly. And it's if you go to my website, my portfolio, there's a case study called Budget Me. And I really didn't think too much of it because I didn't even get to some sort of prototype. It's just concept drawings with like color pencils that kind of looks like, I don't know, pretty elementary stuff, right? But when I went into interviews, they often asked me questions about that case study because I used this and I also used another book I'll talk about in a little bit. Because I guess the thought process was interesting and they wanted to understand why I used the books and how I decided to do that. So I really recommend you checking this out. Let me show you guys some fun stuff that's in here. People may care about time more than they care about money. Number 30. The more uncertain people are, the more they defend their ideas. Smells evoke memories and emotions. People lie most on the phone and least with pen and paper. Yet people are more negative towards others via email than with pen and paper. Trolls. Danger, food, sex, movement, faces, and stories get the most attention. The Design of Everyday Things, written by Don Norman. Don Norman is the godfather of UX design, and this book is sort of the rite of passage to become a UX designer. He gets real precise about what is good design and also what is bad design, and he doesn't hold back in pointing out that there is a ton of bad design out there. This book, after you read it, totally makes you rethink everything around you. And you will never look at a door handle the same way ever again. And you'll know what I'm talking about once you start reading this book. Start with Why by Simon Sinek. I'm sure you've heard of this book. He's super famous right now. I mean, he's a business philosopher, consultant, eternal optimist, as he calls himself. But this book is really good. I mean, it has a lot of interesting examples and case studies to really drive home the fact that people are affected by and driven by why you do something rather than what you do. And it sounds so stupidly obvious when I say this to you right now, but anecdotally, personally, and I'm sure you could attest to it too, it's really hard to understand why anyone does anything. So this book really just exposed all that to me and gave me a broader perspective and a different lens into really understanding people better, understanding businesses better. But why am I reading this? Why am I recommending this to you? And why is this related to design? And I think it's because for me, my take is that at the core of being a great designer is problem solving. And you need to not only be able to solve a problem, but be able to hone in on what the problem is. You need to wade through all the crap, all the different meetings, all the different opinions, and be able to hone in on why is this a problem and what can we do about it? And it was Don Norman who famously said that a brilliant solution to the wrong problem is worse than no solution at all. So solve the right problem. It's really worth reading this. Check it out. So here's another famous one. Don't Make Me Think by Steve Krug. I really love this book. He is like the OG practitioner of UX design way back when it wasn't even called UX design. And because he's a practitioner at heart, he gives you so many good examples, lots of cool templates, and real useful things, like tactical useful things. And I use this pretty often. Most recently, I use one of his survey templates in some of my customer conversations, and it went really well. So I really recommend this book. Lean UX, Designing Great Products with Agile Teams. This book is written by Jeff Gothelf and Josh Seiden. I really love this book and I use it quite often. I referenced it actually not that long ago too, just trying to work on a project. The reason why I love this book is because I think it puts a real world context or real world lens on how designers in today's business should be working with or working for companies. The process of designing for these types of companies are going to be chaotic. It's going to be iterative. It can get messy. So you need to be able to adjust and be able to modify that process to fit with the company. And yeah, I think this does a great job doing that. So I highly recommend this book. Definitely check it out. It's really practical. You don't even have to read it from beginning to end. You could just flip right to a particular chapter because they wrote it in a way where it can be referenced easily. So there you have it. Those are my top most helpful books for me when I was getting started in UX design. I still look back at them today and I incorporate it into my daily work. I'm not kidding. I really have those books or copies of some of the books at my desk at work. If you're just getting started in this field and you just want to check these books out, I actually recommend that you check them out at the library or borrow it some other way. I mean, why would you spend money on books and stuff that you're not even sure about? I mean, that's what I ended up doing before I bought them. But if you're planning to buy them anyway, would you consider using my links below? I mean, the books aren't that expensive and I'm only going to get like a small cut, but a little bit goes a long way in me, slowly investing or reinvesting back into this channel. So thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time.